Hello guys and welcome to another video. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit different to usual. This is by far one of the most requested videos we get on the channel, and that is for me to go over my trading setup. So today we're going to be going over my entire trading setup from the ground up. The computer, the screens, the mouse, keyboard, mic, speakers, everything. So that's what we're going to be going over today, and we're also going to go over what I have on each of my screens, how I use them throughout the day. Let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, I would like to preface that the chair you sit in, the screens you use, the brand of computer, your mouse, all these little things aren't going to make you a better trader, right? These are tools which are going to make your trading experience better. Having a good chair is obviously, if you're sitting at your desk for hours and hours every single day, that's going to help. Having high quality screens that are nice and sharp so you don't get sore eyes, all these little things are going to make your trading experience better, more enjoyable, and these tools are also going to help you in your trading progression, right? It's the same with having like 4 screens, right? I think 2 screens is very necessary for a trader. 4 screens may be overkill for most people, but remember, I am running multiple things at a time. I'm also doing presentations with clients and members in our community group. I'm sharing a screen and also answering questions on another. So having more screens makes sense for me. This also allows me to keep an eye on my charts and my trading plan for the day whilst working on back testing and historical data and things like that as well. At the same time, I am also running a business. I have emails to answer and things to edit on our website, etc. So having multiple screens just allows me to keep an eye on everything at once. Now, the most important part of the computer is, of course, the computer itself. My computer is just called The Trader, and it's by a company called multiplemonitors.co.uk. Now, Multiple Monitors actually specialise in building computers capable of being ran across multiple screens, whether that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. You tell them what you need, you can go in and custom build the PC to your specifications, and they'll make it, right? So they actually have 2 trading options. There's one called the Trader and one called the Charter, I believe, and each have their own different features and attributes that obviously work towards different goals. So this is the Trader PC. It has multiple outputs on the back of screens. I'm currently using 4 of them. However, I do have the option to use 6 screens in future should I decide to do that. Now, that computer cost me around about £1,300, so very reasonably priced for what it is. Now, you could go for a gaming PC or something like that, but this is a bit more of a specialised computer, and so I was happy to pay the money. Now, next on the list is the 4 monitors that I use, and I actually use the Dell P2419H. They're about £180 each, and I have 4 of them. These are very high quality, slim monitors. They have very little bezel around the outside, which I didn't want, and they're nice and slim and lightweight as well, so it doesn't put too much strain on the desk stand I actually have. Now, moving down from the monitors, I have 2 Logitech speakers. This is just simply my system audio output for any videos I'm watching, or if I'm doing a call with a member or whatever. And then to the left of that, I have an individual speaker, which is my squawk system. So my live news feed is plugged into that, and that's coming out throughout the day. I have that as a separate audio system to my computer audio. So if I'm watching a video on my computer, for example, or if I'm on a call with a member and some news comes out over the squawk, I can manually change the volume on each. Moving along to the right of the computer, I have my Rode microphone. This is the mic that I use when I'm doing our live morning analysis breakdowns for the members in our trades and analysis and community group. For anyone who is unaware, or if you're new here, KB actually has a community and a trades and analysis group where we provide market analysis and insights on a daily basis for over 500 members. So this is the microphone that I'm using when I'm doing that live analysis. Now, straight down from that, I have a wireless mouse by Rapoo, I believe is the company. I can't actually remember what model of mouse this is. I believe it was around about 30 or 40 pounds. I would tend to advise you to go for a wired mouse, because I guess it can be a pretty costly mistake if you run out of batteries in your wireless mouse in the middle of a trade. Probably pretty stressful as well. I've yet to experience it. I keep the batteries changed every so often and turn it off when I'm not using it. So typically I don't actually have any issues with that. The keyboard is just like a standard light up gaming keyboard. I think it's relatively cheap, maybe like 20 or 30 pounds online. On my desk whilst I'm trading, I also usually always have a notepad and a pen. anything I'm seeing in the markets that I'd like to investigate, or any notes I want to take on pairs, will simply get jotted down there. Very, very quick and easy way to note something down. Now, last but certainly not least is the chair that I'm currently sitting in right now. For me, the chair is one of the most important parts of my setup. Being comfortable for 10, 12 hours sitting in the same spot is very, very important. And also for your health, you don't want to have a really bad posture, bad back, that's going to give you a sore neck, which is going to give you a sore head, and going to stress you out whilst you're trading. So in my opinion, being comfortable whilst you're working is one of the most important things. Now, the chair that I've gone with is actually a Herman Miller Aeron B Pro. Multiple people have recommended this to me over the years. Lots of gamers I know, Tom Dante, who's a trader who most of you should know about as well, he also uses this chair or a similar model, I believe. Many people, video editors, gamers, loads of people I know that are at their desk for most of the day are using chairs by Herman Miller. Now, these are on the expensive side, right? These Herman Miller chairs are about £1,200 or £1,500. I actually got mine refurbished for around about 700. It'd been used a couple of times and just had the gas lift change and stuff like that. So really good value for money in my opinion as well. Certainly not the cheapest, but definitely one of the best. Now, on my desk for most of the day, I also have my phone and my headphones. The headphones I use are Beats Studio Wireless 3s. Typically throughout the day, I'm either listening to music or a podcast or a book. At the moment, I'm listening to Hedge Fund Market Wizards. Very good book on Audible. During the day, I don't have time to actually sit and physically read, so listening to an audiobook has to suffice for me. Now, these Beats, the reason I chose them, they're over ear and they have noise cancelling as well. So as soon as you put them on, I feel pretty plugged in. If I want to go and do some back testing for an hour or so, I can really get focused. So now let's move on to the screens and talk about what I'm actually looking at through the trading day. So we're going to start from left to right. Now, my top left screen, which is currently in the right of the picture here, this can change. Currently, it is basically my Twitter feeds. So I have a handful of Twitter feeds. I have one for traders that I follow, whose opinion I respect. I have one for mainstream media news like BBC and CNN. I have one for market specific news like Live Squawk, Squawk Box, Bloomberg. And then also have one for whatever asset I'm focused on for that day, week, etc. So that could be the DAX, it could be the S&P, it could be crude oil. Now, this screen can change from time to time. When I'm back testing, I will typically put my live charts, the live markets, up onto that screen, and that kind of takes precedence for me. So moving down from that screen, you can see my MetaTrader, where I have all of the markets that I trade throughout the day, tiled in a formation that I can see them very easily. Obviously, I know where each of my markets are, so at a very quick glance, I can see if the market's coming into trend lines, EMAs, etc., and make decisions very quickly. Moving to the right of that, which is your left, I have Excel open. This screen is typically Excel for most of the day, whether it's my plan for the day, the markets that I'm trading, any news that's coming out, etc. I'll have that jotted down there. Just basically a workbook of notes that I can keep an eye on throughout the day. I can look at my charts, see prices coming into perhaps a trend line at a certain level. I will check on my daily plan, which is to the right of it, and see what am I supposed to be doing when price hits that trend line. So I basically have, my notes for the full day written out there, so I know what to do when price hits certain areas. Now, moving up from that, I have my fundamentals. So I have Live Squawk up there. This Live Squawk is turned on and it's playing through an individual speaker for all of the day. Any market specific news announcements that come out get broadcast, but they also get posted there. So if for whatever reason the squawk comes out muffled, or I can't hear or didn't hear what the squawk said, I can very quickly check up on there and actually read the physical news bulletin itself. Now, when we have very fundamentally driven weeks such as the US elections or Brexit talks, etc., I will run Bloomberg news on that screen and just have that playing throughout most of the day, because you're continually getting those updates, every couple of minutes on what's actually happening. But I won't turn off the Live Squawk, I'll keep that on as well, because anything that comes out that Bloomberg may miss, the Live Squawk's going to pick up and vice versa. So that is pretty much it for my trading setup. I hope you guys did enjoy this. A lot of you have been asking for this for a little while now, so it's good to kind of get this video made. Little bit of, you know, a less interesting video perhaps for some of you, but for some of you, I hope you found value in it and found it useful as well. If you did enjoy it and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing and drop a like to let me know that you enjoyed this style of video as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.